Hey there, Ranger Nation. Welcome to the Webcast with Attitude, LR4. I'm your co-host, Nate. I'm your host, Nate. My co-hosts are waiting in the wind right now. This is episode 140, Robots in Disguise. And no, we are not talking Transformers. You will see what we're talking about. But first, let me introduce you to my more phenomenal co-host. All right, we've got Rick.
Hey.
And then we've got our new admin and co-host, which is our residential Blue Ranger, David. Welcome aboard, man.
Thank you, Nate.
It's good to have you a part of the team and everything. And so before we move on to the topics, what do you have any questions for me and Rick about what we do on LR4?
Not right now. I think I'm getting the hang of this already.
Okay, cool. I mean, if you have any questions about what we do on the Facebook page and all that stuff, just ask us and private messages, and we'll give you information.
Thanks for boring.
And as you guys know, it's Rick. So, how was everybody's week? I mean, let me start with David. How was your week, man?
Good. Work's going well. I saw the Tom and Jerry movie. It was good. So.
Yep. Oh. That's awesome, man. I watched that on HBO Max. I mean, we have it for a 6-month trial period. It wasn't bad. I mean,
Wait, are movie theaters closed where you are?
No, they're open. It's just that they're only sell a certain amount of tickets to people because they have to, spread out. But yet, which I think is kind of funny how they have it all spaced out. So, but
only one seat in between.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense because that's not 6 feet. But you have to wear your mask if you're not eating snacks or anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I buy snacks just to make sure that I have my mask off during the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I watched Tom and Jerry on HBO Max. And Rick, you know who's in that, right? Besides the mouse and the cat.
Yeah.
One of his favorite actresses. But Rick, how about you, man? How you been? And how was Hero Clicks going for you?
Oh, everything's going fine. Just been busy with work and still waiting to hear on whether or not I got the supervisor position.
Oh, so you're still waiting? Oh, I thought you already had that.
Well, they opened it up again, and now we're trying to wait and see who gets it this time.
Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, like last week, Rick and I talked about Power Morphicon being moved to next year. David, you've never been to? Have you been to PMC before?
Yeah, I went to the last one in 2018. Yeah, and that was my first one.
Okay, so here's the thing. So with that one, that was in Anaheim, and the one they're going back to Pasadena because they've had in Pasadena the past other Ranger PMCs, Power Morphicons. So it's in my opinion, I'm not saying I didn't like Anaheim, but it's a lot better because there's a lot of places to go to eat, walking distance and everything across the convention. And if you want to stay at the hotel at the Sheraton, it's like right behind the Sheraton, so it's not that hard. It's not that far of a walk. So it's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of experience, and and you always save up that money from that nursing home job, huh?
Yeah, maybe. At least we're going to have the virtual one this year. So.
Oh yeah, that's going to be happening in June. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, they said that they're expanding the passes for the PMC 2020 to 2022. So we'll be able to use those and them for June as well. So that's some good news.
Cool.
That's some good news.
Yeah, especially since they
amount of money you spent on them. Yeah, I mean the thing they're gonna. I mean they give you an option of either possibly getting a refund or moving it to non-attendee. So, but
well,
anyway, go ahead.
Don't worry about that in 2022 when I show up and if the door's locked or not.
I just realized something. So the new dates in 2022, National Power Rangers Day will be that weekend, August 28th. So maybe they'll do something special that day at the con.
Yep, that's actually going to be the last day of Power MorphCon too. So that's pretty cool. We'll see what happens because that will be 29 years of Power Rangers, and also they'll be getting ready for the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers.
Wow!
And we'll hear more about 30 years, man. 30
Oh my
years.
God! Yeah.
Feel old.
And I'll be 28. So.
You're talking to a guy that's 35, and he's been watching it since the beginning. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's go ahead and move on. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the topics. Metal Power. Now here's a look at something that Hasbro has teamed up with something called Invention Point, and it's called, these new things are called Metal Power. So there's a look at what we're getting, and here's a little bit of better look at the details on it. So here's this is the Thunder Megazord, and it's got a lot of die cast to it, a lot of articulation. So I do like the look of it, and there's a full shot of it. So little look, and there's that. And then they do come with interchangeable hands, so that's awesome. I do like that.
Yeah.
And then we get another Metal Power figure, which is going to be the Zeo Megazord. So it's basically going to be like how they did the oh, hey James. That's one of our old co-hosts and admins. That's
Hello.
David, James, David. All right.
Hi, James.
So there's a look at that. And here's a look at the legs for it, and a little far distance from it. There's the other stuff that have been released for Lightning Collection. And here are the accessories that will be with it, interchangeable hands. And then you got the Megazord itself. Oops, we're not going there yet. So, what we saw so far of the Metal Power figures. Now, the thing is, they do not have Zords that come apart, which I still think sucks. But it's basically like what we got from Hasbro. Again, except it's going to be die cast. Basically like the Zeo Megazord, like this. And but they have more. But the good thing is, if you notice, they are going to have the wings. You don't have to worry about just taking off the back of the wings. You can actually, I think they can fold in on each other, or they already have something that replaces that. So, and I do like this. They have like the missile part to one of the Zords. And then they have interchangeable battle helmets right there. So that's pretty cool. It's gonna have like some little more articulation to it.
How tall are these things supposed to be?
I don't know. I mean, I would have to say probably the same size as the Zeo Megazord, but that's just my guess because these are and they're called Metal Power, so they're basically going to be. My guess, I don't know. I can't remember what the dimensions is and everything. But the Thunder Megazord, it looks really good. Now, do I wish they would?
Although I have to say, the Thunder Megazord does look a little bit anorexic versus the other versions we've gotten in the past.
Because the waist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because
it's trying to portray an unrealistic body image for Zords.
Yeah. So, but I mean, this is definitely. I mean, I don't know what the price is, but once we get more information on that, we'll definitely post it. I do like the articulation look to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it's gonna from toy reviewers and everything. And I do like how they have interchangeable hands with them, so that's a good thing because then you don't have to stick with one hand with the other Zords and everything. The other, you know. So, but Rick, what would you say about this, man? Would you think this is worth purchasing or passing on?
Depends on the price.
Okay.
Well,
And
price and size. If it's a decent size, like 1.5 feet tall, then hell yeah. Especially if it's only like $100. And diecast metal and all that. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more. But if it's only like 6 inches tall, like the Lightning Collection figures, then if it has a price tag over 50, no.
Okay. But what about the Zeo? What do you think of?
Oh yeah,
both the Zeo Megazord as well.
Yeah.
Price and if it's.
I am actually currently interested. Once we get more information, I'll have to decide whether or not financially it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a new host. Yes, Geo Scout, thank you for noticing. There's a new co-host right there. But what about you, David? What do you think of the Metal Power figures that we're going to be getting at some point?
They look very cool. Yeah, I was going to say, just to echo what Rick was saying, they look really cool, and hopefully they shouldn't be too pricey. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the big question is if they're going to be imports, because, imports are very, very expensive. So that all depends. I mean, we'll be lucky enough to get these in GameStop or something like that, because GameStop sells a lot of Lightning Collection figures. They sold that Zeo Megazord, the retro Zeo Megazord giant figure.
Well, they even sell Kamen Riders, so even if it's import.
I know. That reminds me, we rarely talk about Kamen Rider on here, but it's funny because I sent a picture to Rick of my GameStop that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
And let me find the picture I can look for right now. It's right here.
I mean, I actually went up there a while, before everything shut down, and almost pre-ordered a couple Kamen Rider things. So
yeah, and this was at my GameStop. So basically, it was like a deluxe, like a double set. Came with the driver and the sword for Kamen Rider Geo.
Ooh.
And that's like $129.99, so $130 in tax.
Wow.
But I mean, I saw that and I'm like, when did you guys start selling Kamen Rider stuff? It looks really nice. It really looks nice, but would I spend money on that? I don't know, because it's just too much. It's just not worth. I don't know if it's worth the price. And Rick already has the the driver, so you got that at Ranger Stop, didn't you, Rick? Isn't that where you got that? Yeah. So I mean,
I've got this one, I've got Games, and I got Builds.
Nice. Now, David, are you
I've had Guns for a while.
Not too much.
Okay.
I'm not too much. I haven't really watched much Super Sentai either. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We will maybe talk about that later once we get into the topic of today. So, also, if you guys go to GameStop, those figures, those statue figures, Lord Draken should be available there. And I sent that to you too, Rick.
Yeah, I know.
Lord Draken statue. That's pretty cool. I mean, I wish it wasn't just like some sort of plastic or anything like that, but it'd be still interesting to buy.
Yeah, but the price tag, I based on the Red Ranger that James has, I mean, if it's the same quality, the price tag just isn't worth it.
Right. I mean, it's all it is. It's just a display piece. So honestly, that's good because people like to display things. But the thing is, I think it takes a lot of space up. So you'd have to move a lot of stuff around.
Yeah. 3 shelves of Lightning Collection figures. That's starting to take up a lot of space.
Yeah. So what would you say your collection is, David, like Power Ranger wise and all that stuff?
Oh, I mostly have the Lightning Collection stuff.
Okay. Did you get any of the Morphers or anything like that?
The only Morpher that I have right now is the Dino Thunder Red Morpher.
Oh, okay.
I still have all the Legacy figures as well.
I have the Lord Drakkon and Power Morphicon, and then the black and gold right here. If you see it up here, it's like, I can take you over here very quick.
Yeah.
So there they are right there.
Wow.
Yeah. I wasn't originally going to get the black and gold Power Morphicon Legacy Megazord exclusive thing, but I was like, it's an exclusive. Why not? Go for it. But, it's a cool display piece. But yeah, guys.
Actually wish I got
that. Now, with that said, like we're going back to the Metal Power, we'll have to, see how much it's going to be and if it's going to be one of those imports. And, I don't know. And, I agree with these guys. I mean, if I were to get it, the price would have to be worth it to me.
Yeah.
Because it does, because you can't just get something and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Oh, yeah, that price. I mean, because it's got to be worth the price and what you're spending on the toy, especially if it's worth it and if it's, worth even putting down a lot of money for it.
Well, I mean, the Thunder Megazord alone, if they were to release Piranha's Head in the monster form, if it's in that size, like 7-8 inches, you could have a nice, decent fight scene set up.
Right. That makes sense. So,
if it's 5-6 inches, then why are the Rangers calling a Megazord their size?
That is true. Now, I do find funny that the Lightning Collection figures never included like different Megazord pieces, like the Legacy did, but it makes more sense now because they include a lot of stuff with the effects and then the weapons. They try to fit as much as they can in there.
I mean, they still could have treated it like Marvel Legends.
Yeah, that's true. So
with the build figure.
So guys, like I said, the episode that we have right now is our second episode. It's episode 140. It's and like I said, the title "Robots in Disguise" has nothing to do with Transformers, even though that's what they say in the theme song. But here it is, guys. The new 45th anniversary of Super Sentai Zenkaiger. That's why I went with Robots in Disguise. So let's talk about everything that's right here. This is the promotional poster, and like I said, it does come out March 7th. So guys, keep an eye out for that. If you guys haven't watched on TV Nihon or Overtime or something like that, you just have to look it up and get the subtitles from there. Here, we'll look at some of the cast members. Here's the this is Zenkaiser. He is the leader of the Zenkaiger team, and he is white. The suit, he's a white ranger. A little bit more colors to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we go on.
That you were actually trying to say he was.
And here is one of the other characters. Now, these four are going to be like robots, and then the suits are going to are based on the mechas from the past. Like we've got the Megazord from Mighty Morphin, which is the Juo. I can't remember what it was called. What was that Megazord called? Daijujin. So yep, he's going to be turning into that form, and then we've got the yellow, which will be Gao King, King's form. Yep. And then we've got a pink mecha form, which is the Titan Megazord form, basically.
Yep. That was Magic King, or I guess in this case, Magic Queen.
And we've got our blue, which is going to be turning into the Drive Max Megazord formation.
Overdrive.
Yep. Operation Overdrive. Volcano or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, we'll get more into the details after we go through this very quick. And here is their little robotic ally, which will be in the series. Kind of like Circuit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it reminds me of Circuit from Time Force.
It's Circuit and Navi having a kid. Navi from
There you go. That's the way of putting it. I like that. And then here is their changer, which is really interesting looking. It's called the Gear Liger or something like that. It's gonna have a little bit of a revolving gear thing. So that is pretty cool. I do like how they use weapons for their changers in Super Sentai. Mm-hmm. And here are some of the little collectible things that they're going to be releasing. The Sentai gears, which represent each of the Zenkaigers. This is for, and it has the season number on it. Yep, Zen Kaiser, and then representing.
Sure.
Yep. Zyuranger. Yep. Not Zyuranger. Zyuranger was the animal season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zyuranger. And then we've got Gaoranger.
Yep.
Which represents the I like how these represent the season numbers. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Magiranger. And then last but not least, Bokanger. And the back will have this symbol on it, which represents their team. And they will be releasing more.
Some of them will have a different symbol.
Yep.
For the season.
They're all the gear. Yep. Well, the gears actually these gears have the exact same ones representing for this season, but then like other ones that are coming out later for like the Ranger head, the actual Ranger for the Legend Sentai gears that will be coming out later down the road. They'll represent that season, but that's what I've seen with these.
Yeah.
So, and here's the 4 mechas that will have their own individual weapons. Let me try to look up their names. I don't want to keep just calling them the mechas because they actually have more than just a mecha look to them. They have a name. And look them up. Driving me nuts that I don't do that. I do like how they do show what they represent, which Megazord they represent for what season. Zenkaiju. All right, here we go. Okay, so Zenkai Juren is the red, and he has his sword and shield. And Zenkai Goan is the yellow, and it has a claw. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got Zenkai Magi, which has a type of lance staff type of thing. And then we've got Zenkai Vroon. These names are so interesting. Zenkai Vroon.
Yeah, these are
Vroon. Because they were searching ruins for their treasures, and
they have such cool and interesting names.
Yeah. And here are the mechas they turn into. They actually do change into these mecha forms. So they're able to grow when they're fighting the giant monsters. And let's see. Let me go to go back here for this. I can read these off. It's funny though because I think it's interesting of what they're doing with this season.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
This Zenkai Juren turns into Juren Toreno. And then Zenkai Goan Lion. And then
Magic Dragon.
Yep, I think that's what it's called. Let me look. Yep, Magic Dragon.
Magic Dragon.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
And then this one, this is kind of a funny name. Vroom Dump. It's a dump truck, so that's an interesting
it's like
interesting name they go for. And then they also they all can combine into a Megazord form. Like this one combines with, the yellow and the red combine. They all have different what do they call them? Zenkai-O forms. This is Zenkai-O Jugon. Ju Gao, I think it's called.
Jugao.
Juragao. And then we've got Vroom Magi. And then they have alternate forms as well. Jura Magi. And then Vroom Gown. So those are interesting, but apparently I think all 4 of these actually do combine into one giant robot later down the road, which we'll be finding out later down the road in the season when it comes available. And
I think it's going to take 6 Ranger in order to do that, though.
Yeah, true. But it's funny because Zen Kaiser, he pilots these Zords too. So he's actually inside his teammates during this season. So that's that's a little close and personal, don't you think, guys?
Yeah.
But here are the villains of Zenkaiger. It's a giant wall. This is the leader. The Great King.
With another bird.
Bo Kuwais or something like that. Great King Bo Kuwais. And here is one of his generals. I believe. I wish I wouldn't go back right all to the top, so I have to scroll back down. Mobile Commander. I do not want to even butcher these names. And then we've got that one, another general. And then we've got his little his bird.
Another bird.
Yeah, that's the evil twin of the other one.
Oh yeah,
and it's funny
definitely.
Because it's living inside of him. He's just chilling on his shoulder, like, "Hey, what's up, boss? How you doing?"
Interesting. Hey, boss. Don't worry about that mess I just made. I'll clean up your inside here later.
And then we've got the grunts, the foot soldiers, which I really don't want to have to butcher their name again but I can just show you what they look. I'll just go ahead and show you. These are the foot soldiers. I mean, I'd have to see them.
We're gonna have them take on stormtroopers.
They look a little bit like the guards from the Hunger Games.
The Peacekeepers or something like that?
Yeah, I forgot what they were called, but they kind of look like those guards or whatever from the Hunger Games.
It would actually be kind of funny if they called them Peacekeepers.
Yeah.
Peacekeepers!
Well, here's a look at here's one of the monsters they're going to have in the season. This is a little blurry. I couldn't get it's like a mushroom machine monster. So this season's all based on machines. So obviously.
Right.
It's the 45th anniversary of Super Sentai. Now, let's see what else I have to go to. Okay, so that's not until later. So with that said, let me go to Rick. Rick, what do you think of what's to come of Zenkaiger? And what do you look forward to the most?
I actually think it might actually turn out to be a decent season. I'm interested to see if the Sixth Ranger will be human or robot. I'm curious if they're going to do a lot of cameos from previous seasons. I know with certain filming restrictions right now, a lot of that might be hindered, but I think that might be part of the reason why they're going with the robots to try to cut down on actual number of people on screen. Because the robots, I mean, you got the face covered, counts as a face mask.
Yeah.
So that could help alleviate some of the restrictions so that they can get some more cameos in. But we'll find out.
Yeah.
What about you, David? What do you think, man?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I just hope that it'll be a good season, and who knows if the Sixth Ranger will be a robot, which it would be kind of cool if it was, just like with Beast Morphers with Steel,
Well,
right,
I do know,
that'd be
like,
cool.
The like copyright stuff. Zenkai 2, it was referred to as like Gokai instead of Tukai.
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah,
could have
a little rumor that they released.
Yeah, he could have something to do with Gokaiger. It could literally be Captain Marvelous. We don't know. But that would actually be funny to see him suit up in another suit. It'd be the first time that a previous Super Sentai actor returned in another season as the same character to be a Ranger again. They have, however, had the same actors return as different characters. Like Magi Yellow was Go Buster Gold. The Gold Ranger in Go Buster.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
As Magi Yellow.
Okay, I understand what you're talking about. Okay.
There was a couple in the older series that never got adopted in the Power Rangers, where the guy literally played like 3 different characters as Rangers in different Super Sentai.
Oh, okay. So, what I'm understanding for Zenkaiger, they're releasing a movie first, which is going to be called Zenkaiger the Movie: Red Battle All Sentai Rally. So This is going to be basically what they're going to be doing, because it's going to be the first. That's going to be the movie first before the episode. Hold on.
So massive cameos.
Wow.
So all the red Sentai Rangers are going to be joining up with the Zenkaiger team during that movie, and then the first episode of Zenkaiger will be premiering, which was released in theaters the 20th of this month.
Oh,
so we'll see how that works and how it turns out. But I mean, I look forward to seeing it because it's totally different. But with everything going on with Hasbro saying, okay, we're cutting ties with Toei, with the Toei company, this would have been I think this would have made them bank.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the look itself is robots in disguise. Transformers, come on. But other than that,
literally call the Power Rangers season Power Rangers Robots in Disguise.
Yes. But, so yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is Rick's Boom Time. I'll let Rick get ready and I gotta show the screen as usual. There we go. And this is where David.
That makes me look fat. Okay, I make myself look fat too, but that's besides the point.
This is where Rick talks about upcoming Boom Studio Power Ranger issues and some of the variants that you can get. So, Rick, when you're ready, let me know. Okay, here we go.
All right. The main cover for Mighty Morphin issue 5. Let's go into this because, the Green Ranger's identity is now known.
Now, hold on a sec, David. Have you read?
Going to explain how it's known.
Have you read any of Mighty Morphin?
Yeah, and so they're going to go into how he got his power.
Okay.
Hi, I'm from Prometheus. Here's the Green Ranger power coin.
So basically, this is like an origin for a backstory. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but
the very quick, Rick. Let me.
In the previous issue, okay, Dragonzord finally returned, and Zed actually blocked a combination of Dragonzord and Tigerzord from happening.
Okay.
So hopefully we get the actual combination.
Okay. Very quick. Rick, one sec. David, you read any of the Mighty Morphin issues?
Just like portions of them. I only read like certain comics.
Okay, all right. So without spoiling anything, Rick, let's go ahead and talk about the new. That works too. If you
this is the main cover for issue 5 of Mighty Morphin. You got the Legacy cover up next.
Yep.
This one, the Legacy cover, which actually comes labeled as if the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comic had continued past issue 55. This, I believe, would actually fall under issue 64.
Right.
If I remember right from filing my comics today. And then, of course, you got a good variant cover here. Adam morphing into Mighty Morphin Black, Nigeti Black, and you can start seeing some Turbo and Zeo in there as well with the green.
Okay.
But these covers here are literally a morph of each of their powers coming on top of them.
Okay.
And then, of course, up next is Power Rangers number 5. The new Power Rangers, the Omega Rangers, Jason, Trini, Zach, and Lord Draken, are attacked by a young assassin known as Astronema. One of the popular characters in the franchise. And Trini and Draken face off against one of the greatest villains ever. Which with a shocking conclusion. So, yep. So, yes, Astronema is being introduced in Power Rangers issue 5. This is before she becomes the Princess of Evil. She's just a young assassin. With Ecliptor training her. The main cover here, of course, is Ecliptor.
Yep.
Looking at the Omega Rangers. Yeah, you can see them.
I can see
in the eyes. And then the Legacy cover is Zach playing the card game on Onyx. The planet where all the villains hang out. That's a little Western saloon. They make their way to Onyx. And it's just Power Rangers in Space was one of my favorite seasons. So
one of the best seasons ever.
It really was, because they thought it was the last season. So they literally did no holds bars and literally just let loose for the conclusion.
And they basically, they in Space saved everything in Power Rangers.
All this Power Rangers in Space reference in the Power Rangers comic.
Yeah.
So hell yeah. And this is mainly because the Power Rangers what is that one coming out? That's Astronema and Eclector. It's actually a backstory for origin story for Astronema. This actually ties into
that. Okay. So, you ready for the next cover?
And then, of course, next cover is the one of the variant covers, which is Zach transforming into Omega Black. But you also have a little bit of Mighty Morphin. Oh, no, that one doesn't include the Mighty Morphin in there. Okay. But, yeah, I mean, this would be one of the variants. Trying to think if this would be the 1 in 25 variant or not. It might be.
No idea. So, Rick, the question for you is, what would you suggest people on getting when it comes to these issues?
Oh yeah,
Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, because I know that you've been starting to collect the regular variants for the main cover and then the variants for the Legacy. So
yeah, I've been getting both the Legacy and the main variant lately, just because the artwork for the covers has actually been really great. Especially like Mighty Morphin issue 5, the main cover is just amazing there with the Thunder Megazord, the Dragon Zord, and Tiger Zord. And then, of course, Power Rangers 5 main cover with just Ecliptor on it is amazing.
Yeah, that looks so cool.
And I personally like the Legacy ones just to keep them in order as well.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's some great stuff coming up. I've already seen a few previews, like description synopsis for of Power Rangers. And yeah, issue 5 of Power Rangers is supposed to have a shocking conclusion. I'm not going to tell you what that conclusion is based off of the synopsis of issue 6.
Right.
But it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. So, David, what would you say your collection of the comics would have to be, going back from the first time they released the Boom Studio comics to Shadow the Grid and all the other series of Power Rangers they've had? Which one would you say that you have gotten or would love to still get?
Ooh, wow, that's a tough question. Well, the most recent one I got was the Sins of the Future, so that's been my favorite one.
Oh yeah, Time Force, man. I gotta say, I do like how they go into and they combine a lot of the seasons into Mighty Morphin with it instead of just concentrating too much on Mighty Morphin and doing that. I mean, even though Mighty Morphin was the first season of Power Rangers, I'm not saying that because everybody has their thing about Mighty Morphin, like, Mighty Morphin, I'm tired of Mighty Morphin. It's like, well, everybody's got to remember Mighty Morphin's what started it all, and and then In Space saved it. So everybody's got their own opinions on different seasons. I enjoyed all the seasons. I do have little critiques here and there. That's certain things they could have done in certain seasons, but they're still enjoyable. And I hope that, they do more graphic novels continuing on with Power Rangers, like what they've done with Tommy and his story when he was in Soul of the Dragon, and then what they've done with the Psycho Rangers, and then they did Sins of the Future. And I do like how they have the crossovers with different comics and different characters, like the Justice League and the Ninja Turtles. It's really cool how they do that.
Turtles, there's hints that the Turtle Rangers could be coming to Lightning Collection.
I heard about that.
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
Now, hopefully, they're not going to be
Hasbro as the Pink Ranger. Shredder
as the Green.
Dude,
I think that's going to be awesome. I hope it's not going to be just an exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. I hope it's going to be at least released in stores where you can find them instead of just worrying about trying to get it, because, when it comes to Hasbro Pulse, I do like what they do. I mean, they limit it to two per person. But, when people have ways of actually going back there and buying more than they should,
yes,
this
is my child's account. This is my wife's account. This is my next door neighbor's account, and I'm just going to order it and have it shipped to my address instead.
Yeah. Now, here's my question for you, David. With the Lightning Collection and all that stuff, do you buy just one figure and then you keep the box, and do you display the figure and just keep the box on the side if you ever plan on, packing them up if you have to move somewhere? Or what do you do when you display them?
Like, where do I keep them, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, do you display them like kind of like this right here, or do you do this? Or do you put them?
I leave them in the box. Yeah.
Oh, you don't take them out of the box at all?
No, I sometimes take them out. I just want to keep them safe inside.
Right, I'm the same way. I
just right back.
And then, yeah,
and there's actually one more shelf that's blocked.
Now, do you buy just more than one, or do you just buy just one and then?
I buy one.
That way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it. I get when people are collecting these things, they want to get multiples, one to display and one to buy.
Yeah.
One to play with. But here's the thing. If you're going to do that, you should just buy one, keep the box, and then if you want to try to, take pictures of displays and everything and then just put them back in the box, it's fine. I'm not saying that.
Now, to be fair, maybe there are certain ones that people would buy two of because, like Mighty Morphin Red, Jason and Rocky, or the Putty Patrollers, or the Tango Warriors, or the Super Putty,
or the Z
like
Putty,
Mighty Morphin Black, or Mighty Morphin Yellow to turn around in half, for Aisha when we get her head.
I hope they continue these.
Metallic Ranger.
I've got to get that one. Still haven't gotten it. I've got to get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, I hope they continue. Now, I wish they would stick with this. The way when they put them in the box, have the head on there and the helmet on the side, not the head on the side and the helmet on.
Yeah, it kind of works that way better.
Yeah, because they don't look like decapitated heads.
Yeah.
And I do like how they include the Zeo crystal in there. That's pretty cool. And I hope that they do continue on with the metallic armor Ranger figures, because even though they're just basically translucent, glittery look, I do like the look of it. And it represents, season 3. So, yeah. And it gives us an excuse to have Aisha and another Rocky and another Adam.
Give us Aisha.
Yep. So, it is
but
cool.
They also need to give us Beast Morpher Yellow.
Yes, they do.
Yes, it will not
We're still missing that. We still need Beast Morpher Yellow. We still need Roxy. We still need
Roxy,
but we missing Steel.
Yeah.
We just need a complete set, guys. I've said it so many times with Hasbro. Look, they've done a good job. I'll give them that. They've done a good job. But the problem is they don't finish certain seasons. They start on new seasons like way too fast. I mean, they don't continue where they left off. I mean, granted, we are getting more in space figures, which I'm happy about because we've gotten Andros, and I hope. Oh, I can tell you right now. I hope that with these
aren't we getting Carlos here in the next wave?
Yes, but I'm telling you right now, I hope they just stick with this for Andros and not have to give us another Andros figure.
Yeah, it's perfect.
If they give us another Andros Battleizer armor.
There you go. I'd be willing to do that. But with this, they should just release Andros the way he is with a double pack of Astronema because it's fine. And continue the rest of Space Rangers. We already have Carlos coming out later with Wave 9. We have Ashley right here. Just continue with doing that. That's all you can do. I mean, that way, because I'm already double dipping as it is. I'm going to be double dipping with Lost Galaxy Red because of his freaking Quasar launcher. And I already have him with this. Oh, they're killing me with these.
Red, which is also a double dip because of the 5-pack of the Psycho Rangers. Yeah. Which blue is also a double dip, which actually I have like 3 Psycho Blues.
Yeah.
Well, 3.
David, do you have a game?
Just because it's gold, silver, and white.
Now, did you end up getting?
Yeah.
Do you go to GameStop and get your Lightning Collection figures, or do you just order them online?
I've been ordering online most of the time.
Okay. Now, do you have a GameStop anywhere near you?
There's one like far up ahead, but I don't really go to it because it's far up ahead.
Okay. But yeah, it's funny though, because if you go there, I bet you'll see a bunch of Goldars and a bunch of Psycho Ranger figures every time. It's like, well, they planned this out pretty well, didn't they?
Because of the distribution. You got one figure where they send only 1 per box. Then they have 2 of the figures where they do 2 per box. And then you got the the 4th figure, which is 3 per box. So because they get them in a box of 8. So the distribution is horrible on them.
Yeah. And Rick knows this because he works in a warehouse, so
yes, but we don't actually deal with Hasbro.
I can tell you right now, Rick will be holding.
I would actually like to have those in the warehouse and just have them on my desk.
Rick will be going like this. I'll be right back. I got to make sure we got the right ones. Okay. Everything's good to go. Oh, hold on a sec.
Do not take stuff off my desk.
Sir, we ran out of red. We ran out of Red Rangers. Sir, can we take? You'd be like, no, mine.
Actually, no. I would turn around and be like, what's the name on the order form? Is it me? It's not? Okay, then no, you're not allowed to take it. Oh, it is going to? Okay, go ahead, put that in the. You know what? Just add that one.
Add that one. I already have like 3 of these here. With different accessories, of course. No, I'll keep the accessory. You just give the figure. I don't replace it with another gun. I'm sure they won't know the difference. Okay. All right. So
look at some of the pictures people have posted on Facebook of what they found in stores where it actually has a different figure in the box.
Yeah, I've seen that. All right. So now we are moving. Yeah.
So to wrap things up, support your small businesses, support your local comic book shops, support the paper copy. Paper copy of comic books, in my opinion, is best because you don't have that bright light shining from the computer screen in your face when you're trying to read. Plus, it's what I grew up on.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see, 12, 13, 14 long boxes, 4 short boxes. So, yeah, I just dropped like $500 this weekend on comics. So, yeah. Old 90s issues.
Nothing wrong with that, so.
And Legion of Superheroes. But,
okay.
It's all kinds of fun. So definitely check out your local comic book store. Well, they have something for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to move on to our last topic of LR4, which is our episode rates, and it's for Dino Fury Episode 2, Sporix Unleashed. So, like I said, guys, we're each going to talk about this together, about that specific scene that was in this image. So we'll all talk about it, and then at the end, we'll give our rates and what we would like to see more of in future episodes. So here we go. All right, here's the title sequence with Zato, and which is like titled Sporix Unleashed. So now in this scene right here, he is training the Rangers to do the morphing sequence. Right there. Mm-hmm. All right, Rick, why don't you go ahead and tell us next about this?
Yeah, well, you see, I really think Hasbro's at the point where, yes, they want to tell a decent story, but they also want to make fun of stuff. And to turn around and literally have a training situation where they're rehearsing the morphing call.
I don't think they've done that before.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, it was kind of.
They just picked it up right away.
Yeah,
it was always, oh, we know it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
but now
okay,
they're really doing practice.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead, David. Tell us more about these scenes right here.
Yeah, so Zato is like training them, and they're not really getting it right at first, but then, of course, later they go on and doing it. So, yeah, and then and then there it is. Yep.
There's the scene right there.
Yep.
And then during this part,
he cut someone's head off with a sword.
And this scene, he's about to. They ask him because there's like 6 statues there, representing 6 different dinosaurs. Well, saber-tooth tiger and other dinosaurs. And he asks, but there's only 3 of us. He explained to him there were other, and Amelia asked, does that mean we're going to be getting more Rangers? And he said, well, the Dino Fury keys that were with each Ranger were lost with that Ranger. So the only 3 Rangers that had the keys still, that were still found, were the blue and the pink and the red, because red was in the stasis in the first episode. So he gets to show them their other keys, which now the keys are going to be allowed. Now during Fan First Friday last year, they said that the keys were called power keys, but in the show they're called, and some people call them Dino keys. But they are the Dino Fury keys, and the Dino Fury keys that they use are these ones right here, and they use these to morph. And then the other Dino Fury keys they have are boost keys, which we'll get into details with that. So Rick, go ahead and explain this part right here.
Trying to remember, is this where they're about to teleport?
Yeah, I think this is where they teleport.
Yeah. Yes. Oh no, they demorph first.
Yeah, okay. then they teleport. Yeah.
Yeah. So they demorph. Zato gets a call saying you need to check this out. And they're going to teleport back to the base.
The command center.
They really need to come up with a better name than just the base.
This planet's called Battle Hinge because it's underneath it.
There without Park Ranger Garcia getting it in their way.
Right.
Especially since aren't they? I think that's mentioned later.
Yeah, and during this teleportation sequence, David, what happens with Amelia and Ollie? Could you tell us?
Gosh. Oh man, I almost forgot. What do you remember, Rick?
Well, I know Ollie turned around and kind of got like sick to his stomach or about to get sick to his stomach. Amelia, I don't remember anything happening except maybe a little bit of dizziness after the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And I got to tell you, them bringing back teleportation is awesome because we haven't had teleportation since Mighty Morphin. And then teleportation we had, I mean, from Mighty Morphin all the way to space, I think it was. And then we haven't had it. I mean, they had it once in Megaforce, but that was it. They didn't do it anymore.
A couple of times in Megaforce, I thought, but it was extremely rare.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so they teleport back to the Dino Henge base, which is underneath them, which I guess it's better than just like going, all right, let's destroy this part right here. We could just sneak in. So why not? So yeah, during that, Solon, yep, Solon, their dinosaur cyborg trusty mentor, tells them, tells them that there is, during the cleanup after the first battle, after the first fight, she finds Void Knight's scanner. And Ollie looks at it and then she tells him about the T-Rex champion Zord. Millie asks, who comes up with these names? And then Solon's like, anyway. So Ollie's sitting there looking at the scanner and thinking that there could be an easier way to find him by, attaching it to his mother's drone and searching for the sporks that way. But Solon said it's not a good idea to connect human technology with alien technology because it always can go pretty bad. So, and then they teleport. They go to the park ranger headquarters, Pine Ridge Park headquarters, and they try to convince. Well, first off, Zato, he kind of has something that people will notice. Rick, what's that?
What?
May I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, as you know, the Red Ranger this year is an alien. Yeah.
And so, yeah, he has to hide something that's on top of his head, his antenna.
Right.
So it's pretty, because he can actually retract his antennae to look human.
Yeah.
So I like that they do that in the episode. So, and he tells them, don't tell anybody that you guys are Rangers because no one should know you're a Power Ranger because it's a secret identity and it's for everybody else's safety. So, nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So, the whole gist.
So the guy who didn't even consider retracting his antennae until it was mentioned, who was in stasis for 65 million years, is telling the other Ranger, hey, keep your identities a secret. Where the hell's he getting that from? It's not like he kept his identity secret on his homeworld, when he was a knight, not yet a ranger. But then, of course, the only time he was a ranger before this was 65 million years ago with the dinosaurs. Why the hell's he all of a sudden like, hey, secret identities, guys. Oh, by the way, thank you for reminding me to take my antennae in.
Yeah. And then so they're explaining
secret to based on with him mentioning it.
Yeah. So they explain the stuff to the warden, Warden Garcia, park ranger, and he doesn't believe them. He just shows you.
Wearing
that. Yeah, that makes you wonder. It's like, okay, that's a normal outfit. And were they flying around? Is this their ship? It's like a UFO spaceship. And then Zato's like, no, that is not. And he's like, this guy's got a mouth on him. Okay. And, Ollie, without the Rangers acknowledge, he took the scanner with them and put him in his put it in his backpack, gave it to his mom to tell her that, about the Sporex and everything. And, he gives it to his mom and, they go back to Dino Henge to put it on the drone, where, of course, Void Knight, but before that, well, actually, no. He goes with his mom, and then Amelia and Zato head over to Buzz Blast, where Jane is making this big announcement, which I don't have a picture of that, but making a big announcement of her new assistant that she bought from someplace called Hartford
Robotics. Operation Overdrive reference.
Yeah. Yep. And we get to meet for the first time. I've been wondering who this character was and who's going to be portraying. We're going to the actor who's playing them, the actress that's playing this character, but I didn't know how they were going to portray her in the show. Jayborg is a robotic assistant to Jane, the boss, the chief editor of Buzz Blast. And so basically we've got our comedy duo, Jane and Jayborg. So during that, Amelia was about to tell Jane about the Sporks Beast, but then Annie, one of her coworkers, showed a video of somebody that posted on Buzz Blast of a guy that's near like the dam or something, the Pine Ridge Dam. And he goes with a stick. He's like this. He's like, guys, check this out. I'm going to poke it. Yeah, you don't poke the beast. Turns into a monster, starts attacking them. And then the Rangers call Ollie during when he's back at Dino Hinge with his mom, the statues, to scan the Sporix. They show up to the dam, and they get ready to morph.
The incredible morph.
And they go up again. Yes.
Yeah.
They go up against a monster, which I'll tell you in a bit. Here's their morphing sequence right here.
What do you think of the morphing sequence?
I love it. I love the originality.
Yeah.
And
it was awesome.
Everything they've done. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's that. And then, guys, we've gotten roll calls back. They brought back the roll calls for Power Rangers again. So, Rick, what about you, man? What do you think?
I mean, it's interesting. And we've already seen it's not a every morph time as well. Because there's a few times where they just run and morph right away.
Oh yeah.
Without doing the morphing sequence as well. So yes, it's like, yes, we have a morphing sequence. Let's do it right. Oh, by the way, screw the morphing sequence. Let's just run in and morph.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: the monster they're fighting after they do the whole morphing sequence and their pose and all that stuff, and their roll call, is a new creature, a new Sporks Beast that will be joining Void Knight later in a little bit later in the episode, named Mucus.
Oh, come on.
I mean, it makes sense. If you look at his character, he's a giant slime mushroom. And right when it's about to run at the Rangers, Red Ranger's like, bam! And he's like, he didn't think it was going to be that easy. And then, of course, another Sporks Beast shows up, which was the one from episode 1, Shockhorn. And the Rangers fight against him on the dam. And then the Red Ranger says, hey, Rangers, remember the boost keys I told you about? And he uses his boost key, which is the Stink Dino key. Puts it in his sword, the how do you say that?
Chroma.
The Chroma Fury Saber, and activates this attack, this boost attack, which is Stink Boost. And the Ranger's like, wait, did he just say Stink Boost? Hits the monster, knocks him down, and the Ranger's like, yeah, he said Stink Boost. And at that time, when the monster's down, the Rangers are about to attack the monster. Red Ranger's about to attack the monster, but then he contacts the henchmen, which were the guardians of the ship until Void Knight took the key, and now it's under his control. and the monsters. So then we see Mucus come back because he's indestructible. You could cut him down, but he'll just keep coming back because he's a freaking giant blob of slime. So he calls him Horsey, which I think is hilarious. And then they go to Void Knight's location to capture, to make Ollie's mom scan for the Spork Beast with the scanner that Void Knight left behind at the base. So, Rick, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about that.
I mean, Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you got the Rangers who follow and notice that Void Knight is forcing Ollie's mom to combine the alien tech with her drone and search for the sporks. And Mucus, just a weird name for a little creature, but
well, let's not forget the Loogies from Megaforce.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But I mean, they could have just called this creature Slime.
Yeah,
but maybe Nickelodeon wouldn't want
it is Nickelodeon, yeah,
associated with being a villain. Or like Nate mentioned earlier today, Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Oh, yes.
But
Sony would have a field day with that.
Yeah, I mean, Void Knight tries to get back into the base using a sword, because they got their defenses up. Because for 65 million years, they don't need defenses. No problem. Why didn't they have that to begin with? But yeah. So they take the monster down in a unique way. Drone attack.
All right, David. Now, before that happens, the Rangers are in the base and they're trying to tell Ollie that wasn't the plan, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they teleport to the location, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now we get to the ending scene where they fight against the monster in his giant size. Now we're going to go ahead and they get to use their boost keys. And what is Amelia's boost key called? Do you remember?
No.
Gravity or something?
Gravity Dino key, which is the gravity key. And then Ollie was able to, even when the monster's in gigantic size, they're able to use their boost key attacks. Ollie's is the hyper boost dino key, which gives him the power to shoot out powerful energy at the monster. So during this time, Zato is in the base getting ready to get his Zord up and running, which comes out of a mountain. I don't understand how they're going to fix that or not. It's like, okay, so the mountain's destroyed, but the Zord's fine. We're ready to go. And he arrives, and
Well, you see the Zord's going
Zord
over there and just
battle mode.
No one sees this, right? The mountain's back together.
Yeah. And then the Red Ranger
eats the mountain up.
Yep. And so, Rick, go ahead and tell us about this scene right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is during the whole
cockpit mode. No special armor as of right now for cockpit mode, but cockpit weapon. Yeah. I mean, his sword doesn't transform into it. Like the Mega Blades from Samurai. This is just a unique weapon, I guess, for cockpit mode as of right now. I would love to see them actually use this outside of the cockpit. Because the design of that sword is just beautiful.
I agree.
Now,
I want it.
Dave, can you tell me, David, can you tell me, do you mind if I call you Dave or David?
David, yeah.
David, you rather David than Dave?
It's David, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool, man. David.
Yeah.
So, David, do you notice something unique about his, this is called the Mega Fury Saber? You notice something unique about that? Where is that from?
Man.
Look at it.
Oh, that's the sword on the key.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I see now.
So I think this is awesome because they're actually. It's interesting because they're actually using the swords. Now, the question is when they have individual modes, the Dino Fury Megazord, does that mean each Ranger will use a different weapon from their key during the fight? That would be actually cool. They actually get into that'd be an interesting thing. So during the scene, he fights it in the T-Rex Fury, the T-Rex Champion Zord battle mode, finishes off with a Dino Fury victory. Yes, that's what he says after he destroys the monster. But again, the monster does not get destroyed. It just reverts back to its original Sporix form, which is its egg form, but with the energy that absorbs during the explosion, it gets more powerful. So during that, Zato and the Rangers try to get it, but Void Knight shows up, grabs it, takes it away. So, yep, the Rangers are, missed out on grabbing a Sporix. And then the Rangers teleport back to the base, demorph. And all he realizes what he did was wrong and all that fun stuff. And, understands teamwork. But the question is, what is Void Knight's plan? Well, in this scene right here, we see Mucus holding the Sporix that was turned back into the Sporix beast that turned back into its Sporix form. And they are now in a place called David, what is this place called?
Do you remember, Rick?
Area
62. Area 62. That's right. Yeah.
Yes. A base which is based on Earth that humans abandoned. So, Rick, what are they doing with that Sporix right there?
So that machine behind them. Is it that machine? Might be a different one.
Yeah, the thing that's right behind. Yep, that's the machine behind them.
But they put the Sporix into the machine, and Void Knight seems to be collecting them for some sort of mega power type deal. Don't really know what yet, but it's definitely not the fact that it's a Sporix that has been defeated, returned to its Sporix form, and therefore would be more powerful as another creature. He's literally trapping them inside this machine, so he's wanting to use the power for something else. It'll be interesting to see what that power is.
Mm-hmm. Right. So,
but is that on the display? Anyone else think that looks like some sort of weird combination between like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man? Like on the little display in the middle of the machine?
Maybe a little bit, I guess, like an arcade game.
Yeah.
A lot of people said like a jukebox or something.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like a jukebox.
Yeah, well, I mean, the basic design is of a jukebox, but that little light up area in the middle just looks a little weird, like an arcade.
That's true. Yeah. So with that said, this episode was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any problems with it. I enjoyed to see what's going to happen in future episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I would give this episode a 10. It did really well. I look forward to seeing more of it. Rick, what would you give this episode?
I'd actually have to give it a 10 as well. It was really good. The fact that they made fun of learning the morphine sequence and all that. Yeah, plus, the whole Zords, who makes up these names. The fact that they're aware that other Rangers have been before them. Almost lost a little bit with Zayto claiming the whole secret identity thing. But, yeah, at the end, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
One thing you didn't have on there is the fact that they now do have the Ranger hotline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can just text us, email us, or call us. Wait, did they have a call? Yeah, they had a call line that they could not just text message and email. No, they can call. People can now call the Power Rangers, but they supposedly have secret identities.
Why couldn't we have the number? I would have called that hotline. Like, hey, yeah, question. You guys making an appearance for my cousin's birthday coming up? So, yeah. David, what would you rate this episode, and what do you think of it?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Close to how you rate. Yeah. Yeah, and I also give the first episode a 9 out of 10 as well. It's been so far so good. I'm so glad they brought back the dinosaur theme. This is, I think, the 4th time they've done it, right? With Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, yeah, okay. Yeah, and I'm also curious to see how Zayto will adapt to life 65 million years later. Yeah.
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 And I do like how Amelia says, I think it's kind of interesting that Amelia mentioned, the only way you can see dinosaurs is in the movies. Not technically, no, not really. He could always go to the Dino Charge dimension.
Yeah.
Because they have dinosaurs living there.
Oh, or the Amber, or at Amber Beach.
Well, because the thing is, this is actually set in the main timeline, the Power Rangers, the main dimension. And then, Rangers can still use the transportal devices to travel to different dimensions.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a really good episode. I look forward to seeing episode 3, which is called Lost Signal. Comes out next Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Nickelodeon. Check your local listings. Rick, give us a little bit of a spiel before I do my outro. Go ahead.
I mean, again, support your local comic book shops, support the small businesses. Right now, with everything going on in the world, the small businesses need the support. And, of course, local comic book stores. You got Jason David Frank, Jason Font, and many other Ranger actors are actually partaking in the Ranger Protection Program. They've got different stops coming up.
Yeah.
Later on this month, Jason Font is going to be in
Texas,
Hebron, Kentucky here just in a couple weeks at a shop called Comics to Games. You got 2 shops Friday, Saturday, March 26th and 27th in Kentucky, in Ashland, Kentucky, and over in West Virginia. Off the top of my head, I can't remember those names that Jason David Frank's going to. On the 25th, he will actually be at my local comic book shop, Rock and Rooster Comics and Games, here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm going to actually try to compile a list of locations that a handful of different actors are going to be at, and we'll see about, announcing all that, just to give everyone a chance to meet these actors. As everyone knows, Jason David Frank does Last Man Standing. I think Jason Font might do close to that as well, depending on time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, these are huge opportunities for the comic book shops. Huge opportunity for the actors to get out and actually meet the fans. It's a really great thing that they're doing. So definitely get on their fan pages and see where they're going to be. And then if you're in the area, check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, David, what about you, man? What would you like to say?
Well, I'd just like to say, with this being my first time on the show, it's been good so far. I'm glad I was able to come. I think what you guys do is great, and and I just so looking forward to seeing what will become of this year in terms of with Dino Fury and, of course, cons as well. So, yeah.
And I like to say personally, David, welcome aboard to LR4, man. We're glad to have you a part of the team. And after this, we'll explain what else we do. If you have any questions, just like I said, ask Rick, ask me. We can help you out of what we do on the Facebook page and all that stuff. So
that's true.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro. Yeah, so I'm gonna switch over to
participating on the Facebook page and taking naps instead.
All right. So let's go ahead. You guys go ahead and mute yourselves so I can do the outro. Here we go. All right. Guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of LR4. We'll be back next Sunday with episode 141, which that will be titled Zato Phone Home. Yes, the title is in the detail with the episode of Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 3. So you'll understand that. Guys, make sure to tune in to Dino Fury Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, check your local listings on Nickelodeon. So guys, definitely check out the third episode. Also, make sure to check out our Twitter, our Instagram. I do want to try to get our Twitch stream up and running. At some point where I'm still working on that. I mean,
along with our fans only page.
No, that does not exist. Our fan only page does not exist. Do not listen to that. So, with that said, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, put your mask on, stay more phenomenal, and as Zordon always says, may the power protect you. And remember, it's morphin' time! Dino Fury Key! Link to Morphin Grid! Take care, everybody. Everybody say later. Say goodbye. Everybody. Oh, you guys can unmute yourself. Say goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Or see you next time, guys. All right. And